Can you imagine a giant wooden horse hiding hundreds of warriors? It sounds like something out of a fantasy novel, but this is a story from ancient history. That's exactly what happened in the story of the Trojan Horse. This tale has fascinated people for centuries. It's a tale about a clever trick, a long war, and the ingenuity of the Greeks. They were determined to win at any cost. And a very surprising ending. The city of Troy was famous for its high walls, which seemed impenetrable. The city of Troy was famous for its high walls. These walls had protected the city for years, making it a formidable fortress. The Greeks and the Trojans had been fighting for a long time, with neither side able to claim victory. The war seemed endless, and the Greeks couldn't get inside. They tried many strategies, but the walls of Troy held strong. But they had a plan, a very sneaky plan. The Greeks decided to use their wits instead of brute force. Let's travel back in time and see how it all happened. We'll explore the cunning strategy that led to one of the most famous deceptions in history. The Trojan War was a big deal. It was one of the most famous conflicts in ancient history, involving gods, heroes, and epic battles that have been told and retold for centuries. It all started when a prince from Troy, named Paris, took a beautiful Greek queen named Helen. Helen was considered the most beautiful woman in the world, and her abduction sparked outrage. The Greeks were very angry and sailed across the sea to fight the Trojans and bring Helen back. They assembled a massive fleet and gathered their greatest warriors to embark on this perilous journey. The war went on for many years. It was a brutal and grueling conflict, with countless battles and many lives lost on both sides. The Greeks had brave warriors like Achilles, who was nearly invincible, and Odysseus, known for his cunning and intelligence. These heroes played crucial roles in the war. The Trojans had strong heroes like Hector, who was a noble and fierce warrior, and their wise king, Priam, who led his people with courage and determination. But the walls of Troy were too strong for the Greeks to break through. The city was well fortified, and the Trojans defended it valiantly, making it nearly impossible for the Greeks to penetrate its defenses. One day, a clever Greek leader named Odysseus had a brilliant idea. He ordered his men to build a giant horse out of wood. This wasn't just any horse, though. This horse was hollow. The Greeks pretended to sail away in defeat, leaving the giant horse behind. The Trojans thought the horse was a gift, a peace offering from the Greeks. They were so excited, they pulled the giant horse inside their city walls. Section 4. Victory for the Greeks. As night fell over the ancient city of Troy, the atmosphere was filled with a deceptive calm. The Trojans celebrated their victory with great joy and festivity, completely unaware of the hidden danger lurking within the wooden horse they had brought into their city. Inside the giant wooden horse, Odysseus and his bravest warriors waited with bated breath, their hearts pounding in the silence. They knew the fate of their mission rested on their patience and courage. When the city of Troy was enveloped in deep sleep, and the celebrations had died down, Odysseus and his men quietly emerged from the horse. They moved with the stealth of shadows, careful not to make a sound. With precision and swiftness, they made their way to the city gates. Odysseus and his warriors opened the gates, allowing the rest of the Greek army, who had secretly sailed back under the cover of darkness, to enter the city. The Greek soldiers poured into Troy, taking the city by surprise. The battle was fierce, but short-lived. The Greeks, with their strategic brilliance and relentless force, took over the city of Troy, marking a decisive victory and bringing the long and arduous war to an end. Section 5. A Story Remembered. The story of the Trojan horse is very old. It's been told and retold for thousands of years. We know about it from poems like the Iliad and the Odyssey, written by a Greek poet named Homer. Even though it's a very old story, it's still popular today. We see it in books, movies, and even video games. The Trojan horse reminds us that even the most difficult problems can be solved with cleverness and courage. Section 6. What can we learn? The story of the Trojan horse is exciting, but it also teaches us important lessons. It reminds us that it's important to think carefully before trusting strangers. It also shows us that even when things seem impossible, we should never give up hope. So next time you see a picture of a horse, remember the Trojan horse and the incredible story it tells. What other clever tricks can you think of?